This is Tammy Vasquez, and you are listening to Life Coach Life, the podcast, episode number 8. Hello. How's it going, everybody? Listen, because I'm a coach and not a therapist, I want to chat with you today about post-traumatic growth. There are many clinical talks and books about PTSD, and some of my clients have it or have clinically managed their trauma with a therapist. But post-traumatic growth falls more into my profession of life coaching. As you can imagine, the definition of post-traumatic growth is described as positive changes coming from traumatic life events. And those changes can include major dramatic breakthroughs or simply stepping stones to personal growth. The idea of post-traumatic growth is that there is life before the trauma, then there's the actual trauma, and then life after the trauma. And what is suggested with post-traumatic growth theory is that life can be better than it was before the trauma because of, not in spite of, the trauma, which I can see as being a bit controversial to wrap our brains around, but I also find it very fascinating as well. Examples of areas for post-traumatic growth include increasing personal strength, having a new appreciation for life, new possibilities in your life, spiritual shifts and changes, and deeper relationships with others. It can present itself in all sorts of ways, like uncovering a latent talent and ability, finding the confidence to face new challenges, new self-awareness in all areas and relationships, and discovering these feelings of strength and purpose that were not there before the trauma. Listen, no one will ever suggest for you to, hey, go out and find yourself some trauma to grow this week. Yeah, no, not saying that, and I think you know this. But we do see and hear stories every day from people that have suffered unspeakable harm, that use their pain to rise, to make them stronger, to develop parts of themselves that they may have never developed had they not experienced PTSD to begin with. And you certainly do not need to have had a trauma to benefit from coaching. Coaching is for anyone that wants to grow and shift their life to something better that they know is meant to be theirs. Listen, suffering is relative, but it feels the same. A client who has lost a loved one truly suffers. Another who is not accepted by their family that is alive, they suffer alone, quietly. Another feels he or she will never be able to manage their OCD properly in this life. The experiences are very different, but all hit the suffering scale. And with post-traumatic growth and coaching, we get to see all the thoughts, break them down, create new thoughts that feel true or truer than the original, and receive these amazing psychological gains that create new feelings, new actions, and positive results. We transform suffering, we transcend it, and we recreate it to something much more beautiful. Listen, that trauma, that happened. The situation happened to you. It is real. What will you create now, and how will you rise up to be stronger and grow from it? Even with all of my coaching tools during the pandemic, I got caught trying to rewrite history. I got caught in PTSD. The if I had done something different thoughts were quite haunting. I relived the trauma in my mind quite a bit and tried to make the result different, if only in my mind. I got caught in the web for weeks and for months. The story I tell myself is the story I live now. We all have the power to tell our own story. I did what I believed to be the right thing to the very end. Thinking any other way will never serve me, and it certainly would not allow me to do the work that I do in this world. We all have a limited amount of energy, headspace, and time on this earth. Believe that you can create growth from this experience for yourself and for others. I have been witness to every one of you doing this. Some people go to therapy to tell their story on repeat for years and years, experiencing very little to no personal growth. In coaching, we call that story fondling. I always get a visual of someone caressing their painful story in their arms like a baby. And sometimes that is as far as a clinical therapist can get them. And don't get me wrong, most every one of my clients shares their past trauma with me because we all have it in some form. No one is excused. But we get it out, it's there, it's real, it's solid, and from that point, we work from today and what you think about it now, how you move through the world now. We separate fact from thoughts and the meaning that you attach to those thoughts, because after we have the facts, everything else is simply optional for you to think and believe. Everything. Listen, I'm totally into recycling, but recycling pain, no, no, and no. Look at your life. How does it look after your trauma? Are you building a new version of yourself, one that is more resilient, stronger, more connected, and in tune? If you're not, consider coaching. Surround yourself with positive people that do not suck the life out of you, but that create higher vibrational energy that feeds your soul. Seek post-traumatic growth. If you or someone you know is ready to work on their personal growth, live more abundantly, be less lonely, try to find deeper meaning and connection in this world, you definitely want to sign up and schedule a chat with me so that I can help you get to the next level. Visit TammyBasquet.com or simply drop me an email at tbasquet@gmail.com. My hope for anyone listening here today is that you take coaching and post-traumatic growth very seriously. It is my honor to work with those who want to take their life to a new level with more awareness, more connection, and growth. I can assure you, working with me and truly applying all the concepts and practices will change your life. This is Tammy Basquet reminding you that your mind always matters. Thanks for listening. See you next week.